How's it going, guys? My name is Just Weavile and welcome to my channel where we try to bring out the potential of every Pokemon available. Today's focus is on the Elder Tree Pokemon Trevenant. This thing is pretty cool with access to moves like Poltergeist and Horn Leech and even Priority and Sucker Punch. Today's battle against Cody is a good one and I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Cody. So they're going to lead off with Hydreigon. The shiny Hydreigon, nice and shiny. We lead off with Ninetales. So on paper, this looks like a good matchup. I should be able to go for the Aurora Veil, right? But Ninetales was a pretty obvious lead for me. And they've led with the Hydreigon, which makes me think it might be Choice Scarf with Terra, Poison, or Steel. So I'm going to go ahead and play it safe. I'm going to go into Umbreon. Umbreon can definitely take a hit from this thing, no problem. So we'll withdraw. And if they go for a U-turn here, predicting the switch, it's going to do a little bit of damage to the Umbreon. It won't do too much, but it'll do a bit. So just watch out for. So Umbreon comes in nice and shiny. They go ahead and withdraw. Okay, so it was just a bad lead for them then. So they're not going to Terra Steel or anything like that. They go into Emboar. Emboar is terrifying. Nice and shiny. Look at that blue. I love shiny Emboar. It's so cool. Anywho, probably my best switch here, and people are going to complain already like, oh, switching a lot. Look, all right, I'm not going to keep an Umbreon against an Emboar that can close combat me. Shut up. Anyway, we're going Moltres. They go for a Drain Punch, just fine. That's going to do no damage. So that was the right switch because it definitely would have done more damage to the Umbreon. And if we assume they're going to go ahead and switch out, I'm leaning towards a Diancie switch. So I'm going to go for a U-turn here. We go for a U-turn. They actually stayed in, which is tricky for me because now I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to go for a Wild Charge, a Reckless Boosted Wild Charge? Is my best switch going to be either Trevenant or Rotom? I'm leaning towards Rotom. So we'll go Rotom now. It should be able to take a Wild Charge, no problem. They go for a Wild Charge as expected. That's going to do a lot of damage with a critical hit. But it gives them some recoil as well, which is always nice. So looking at this matchup, I'm going to go for a Pump straight up. I feel like they don't switch out, but they could do. But either way, I'm getting a Pump off. So Emboar withdraws. Not a good matchup for them. And they're going to do Hydreigon, which is a good switch. There's still going to be a bit of chip on the Hydreigon, which is nice. So we go for the Hydreigon. It was provided they hit as well. A little bit of chip, nothing too drastic. We're going to have to get out of here. We're going to actually go for a Pump again, just to get some more chip damage off on the Hydreigon. Because I don't foresee needing the Rotom so much. They actually go for a Taunt, which is very good for us. Because we're locked into Hydro Pump anyway. The Snow stops as well, so we can get a switch into our Ninetales if we need to. We know the Emboar's not Scarf because it's switched on moves. We know this thing's not Scarf because it's gone for a Taunt. Let's go for a Hydro Pump again. And we hit again, which is nice. There's not much hacks this game, touch wood. And we got a bit more damage off there with a critical hit, which is funny because I literally just said there's no hacks. Stealth Rocks come up, so they're going to lose a Hydreigon, which is good. Rotom actually does super well against the rest of the team, so I'm kind of glad this is playing out like it is. And we get rid of a Hydro Pump, and we cleanly take out that Hydreigon. We hit 4 Hydro Pumps in a row. I'm happy with that. That's a good outcome for us. So Hydreigon going down is great for the likes of my Trevenant. And they go into Greninja, which is a good one. Nice and shiny, so we know it's not Battle Bond because Battle Bond Greninja cannot be shiny. We'll keep Rotom around, that's for sure. Let's go into Umbreon. I think Umbreon's a great switch here, so we'll go Umbreon now. Rotom's going to be good for taking out that Diancie and potentially the Emboar if it doesn't have Sucker Punch. So we'll go into Umbreon now. Nice and shiny. Stealth Rocks do dig in, which is unfortunate. We don't have a Hazard Clearer. And they go for a Sludge Wave, potentially predicting something else coming. I don't know. Either way, Sludge Wave is going to come through, and it's going to do a bit more damage than I wanted it to because of that pesky critical hit. But you know what? Crits happen. Crit happens. Crit happens. Right, let's go for a Thunder Wave on this thing, see if we can. They do withdraw, though. Are they going to go Emboar? Emboar would make the most sense. Donphan also works. It means they can't get Thunder Waved. Nice and shiny as well. So let's see what we can do here. So Thunder Wave comes through. It fails, obviously. That's fine. We know what this thing wants to do here. It's going to go straight for an Earthquake, more than likely. More than likely. So we'll go for a Wish, first and foremost. We do outspeed, of course, because Umbreon is a bit faster than Donphan. Still, they're not invested in speed, which you wouldn't normally do with a Donphan anyway. They go for a Knockoff. That's going to do a bit of damage. Knocks off our leftovers and all that stuff. So now, I'm going to have to risk it for a Chocolate Biscuit and bring in the Rotom. That's what we're going to have to do. So I'm going to go into Rotom now. Because I'm hoping they go for an Earthquake, and then we can get a Wish on the Rotom, which would be clean. Very clean. So Rotom comes in. And if they predict this switch and go for a knockoff, it's fine. They actually withdraw the Donphan. That's even better. It means we don't have to... There's no risk at all. And they're going to Ember the Sleepy. So Ember comes in, which is great. Rotom's looking like a bit of a cleaner upper. I played it a bit recklessly with the Hydreigon because it could have taken me out, but we still pushed through. And now I'm looking at the squad and I'm thinking, yeah, let's go for a Hydro Pump. Why not? So Hydro Pump comes through and misses. That's unfortunate. They go for a Drain Punch, which is going to do a bit more damage than I would have liked. But we had to miss a Hydro Pump at some point, right? You can't just hit 5 Hydro Pumps in a row. So just impossible. Let's go for a Hydro Pump again. Hydro Pump comes through. We don't miss this time, which is great. That should do a lot of damage. It doesn't kill the Ember, which tells me they could potentially be a Assault set based on that damage. Or they're just as bulky than I thought they were. But either way, have we got a Scarf Bomb that we can use to outspeed this thing now? Not really. We don't actually at all. We might have to rely on Trevenant a little bit here. And Terra. That's one thing. We could also Jirachi Terra. Jirachi does pretty well against the rest of that team as well, which is pretty cool. I think we go Jirachi and we Terra Fighting. I think that's the way we got to go about it. So we'll go into Starlight. Now, they might think we're Choice Scarfed. By the way, we've brought this in because Choice Scarf Jirachi is a thing. But we're not. We're still going to Terra. And we're going to go for a... I kind of want to go for a Meteor Beam. It'll KO the Ember, but it might miss. That's the problem. And that's the last thing we need it missing. So we'll play it safe. We'll go for a Psychic. So they withdraw the Ember. What are they going to go into? Greninja, maybe? Donphan comes in. That's fine. So it's good job we didn't go for a Meteor Beam. Otherwise, that wouldn't have worked out very well. At least this time, we get some damage off with the Psychic. Obviously, we're not going to get any stab bonuses from the Terrestrialization, but we at least aren't weak to ground and knockoff anymore from this thing. Earthquake and knockoff. Being a fighting type. So, not a bad situation to be in. We go for a Psychic. It's going to do a bit of damage to the Donphan, right? Yeah, that's bulky as heck. So what we're going to have to do here is, if we assume they're going to go for a knockoff, we should go into... I'm going to go into Moltres. I know this gets rid of our heavy duty boots, but it might burn the Donphan, which could be clutch. Because Donphan's Earthquakes do sting a little bit. They do sting. So let's go Moltres now. They go for that knockoff, that's fine. Can we get the burn? We do get the burn, which is awesome. We do get the burn, which is awesome. And they knock off our heavy duty boots. So next time we come in, we're going to have to take some Stealth Rock chip, but it's fine. What we can do now is, I want to go for an Air Slash. Just predicting the Greninja to come in, or the Diancie. Or I can go for a Roost. It's also an option. Because if they go Diancie, we can always just U-turn on it. Let's go for a Roost first and foremost. See what's going to happen. We go for the Roost. Hopefully they don't go for an EQ here. Predicting that. They go for another knockoff. That's fine. So they're obviously expecting a U-turn here, which is fine. We're going to get some more chip on the burn as well, which is great. So let's go for a Flamethrower now. All right, they're going to go ahead and withdraw the Donphan. That did not sound like words. They're going to go into Swalot, which is fine. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. We go for a Flamethrower now. If I remember rightly, I've faced the Swalot from Cody before, and they're like a stockpile set, if I had to guess correctly. Question mark. So I'm going to go for a U-turn here. And I'm going to go into Ninetales, because if they go for a stockpile, I want to encore them into that. I really want to encore them into that. So let's go into Ninetales now. Boom. Ninetales comes through. Like so. Cushell comes in. Stones do dig in, which is unfortunate, but it's whatever. Snow Warning comes through. And they go for a stockpile, which is great. So that's wonderful. They're going for the stockpile. We can lock them into that with Encore. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, in fact. We're going to go for that Encore, lock them into the stockpile, so they can't do any attacking stuff with us. And we can just whittle it down with Freeze Dry if we need to. So they go for the stockpile again, as expected, because that's what they have to go for. Obviously. Obviously. And now, we'll just go for a Freeze Dry, I guess. No, we'll go for the Royal Veil first, and then we'll go for a Freeze Dry. They withdraw the Swalot, which is great for us. No stockpiles for you, I'm afraid. And they go into Ember the Sleepy, which is fine. Ember comes in. Now, we're in a good position here with Ember, because we can go for the Royal Veil here, and we do outspeed because we know they aren't Choice Scarfed. And we can just go for a Moonblast, and that should take out the Ember, right? Moonblast should do the trick, right? They withdraw the Ember this time. Are they going to go back into Swalot? Greninja? Greninja? Oh, they're expecting us to switch out. That's why. No, I'm not going to switch out. I'm going to go for a Moonblast. Down goes the Greninja. Wasn't even a crit. Just died. Awesome. So Greninja's out of the way. Bit of a questionable play from Cody there, but I think they were predicting us to switch out from the Ember. Ember comes back in. And this is what tells me they might be AV, because they seem to be pretty confident they're going to take a Moonblast. So let's go for the Moonblast and find out. Boom. No, you don't take that, I'm afraid. Ember goes down. So I don't know whether it was Assault Vest or not, but they might have been overestimating the Assault Vest a little bit there, but, you know, it's fine. Diancie comes in. This is the Pokemon I don't want to face with my Ninetales. For sure, for sure, for sure. So let's go ahead and switch out. I'm going to go ahead, looking at their team. I'm just, because they're going to go for a Diamond Storm, right? So we just sack off Moltres here. We sack off Moltres, and we see what they're going to do. So Forks comes in. Don't really have the best switch-ins to Diancie. We get some Stealth Rock Chip, of course. And they go for a Power Gem, not a Diamond Storm, just a Power Gem, which is going to take out Forks, unfortunately. So this thing could have a Fairy move. It was a crit, didn't matter. I don't think the crit mattered against the Moltres. With Fizz Def, not specially defensive. So now we just go Jirachi. We go Jirachi. Starlight comes in. Like so. Nice and not shiny. Nice and terrored. And I want to just go for a Flash Cannon. I really do. I'm just going to go for a Flash Cannon. I'm pretty sure Jirachi wins this game, depending on what this terror is from Diancie. So let's have a look. Let's have a gander. Water Terror. Okay, that's going to work out nicely for them, because they can now go for a Moonblast. So this Diancie could pull this back for them. We go for the Flash Cannon. Obviously, it's not going to do much damage, but it could get a Special Defense drop since we have Serene Grace. But they actually go for a Calm Mind. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is... Right, what do we do here? So I'm leaning towards... I want to go to Umbreon. I want to paralyze this thing for a start. And I think it's up to Trevenant. I think they go for another Calm Mind for a start. So I'm going to go into Umbreon now. And if they do go for a Moonblast here, I'm confident that Umbreon can take a +1 Moonblast from this thing. I'm pretty confident, because we are fully specially defensive. I mean, maybe not after Stealth Rocks, but I don't know. Let's find out. They go for a Power Gem. That's even better. We can take that like a champ. We'd be able to take a Moonblast as well, because Aurora Veil's up after all. So I think we would have been able to take a Moonblast. But either way, I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave here. I'm going to paralyze this Diancie so that we can take it out with Trevenant. Thunder Wave comes through. Now we can outspeed it with Trevenant. I'm unsure on the speed tiers. We might have still outsped anyway, but I'm pretty confident we don't. And they go for a Draining Kiss, which isn't going to do the job for a start. But what we can do is we can go for a Wish if we want to, or we can switch out. Ninetales works. So what I'm going to do here is I'm risking it for a Chalky Biscuit. I'm assuming they'll go for a Draining Kiss here. And I'm going to go into Ninetales. If they go for a Power Gem, it's fine. We lose on Ninetales. It's big. We'll want to cry about it. But because Aurora Veil wears off this turn, so I want to see if we can. They go for a Calm Mind. We're in a very good position right now, because we can Encore this thing into the move that it's gone for here. We can Encore it into Calm Mind, which is going to be great. So the Aurora Veil wears off there. We always go for an Encore here. They withdraw. It's fine. As long as we force that Diancie out with its Calm Minds, we're fine. Swalot comes in. That's also fine. Nice and shiny. They know they can't set up a stockpile here, because we will just Encore them. So I think we've got them on the ropes here. I think we've got them on the ropes, which is nice. Aurora Veil comes through, which is great. Aurora Veil comes through. Which is going to make it so this Poison Jab won't KO us. No, it doesn't, because we've got the defense boost from being an Ice type in the snow, and we've also got the Aurora Veil, which is great. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to Encore them into Poison Jab. I'm going to Encore them into Poison Jab so that they can't set up on my next mon. And we're going to leave this one to Jirachi. I think Jirachi can handle this from here. They go for another Poison Jab that should take us out, right? It doesn't take us out, but they might poison us. They don't poison us, which is fine. Absolutely fine by me. I'm just going to go for a Freeze Dry to get some damage off. Just a little bit of chip, because they haven't got a stockpile up, so this will do a nice chunk of damage. They go for another Poison Jab, obviously going to take out Ninetales. So Ninetales did good here. The Encore shenanigans is really good for us. The snow is going to stop as well, which doesn't really matter. So what's our best option for this Swalot? Based on the freeze dry damage, I'd say it's more specially defensive orientated than physically. So I'm leaning towards Trevenant. Let's see if Trevenant can do this. Let's go into Redwood. And we'll just go for an Earthquake. A nice little Earthquake. And we've got 3 minutes left. I think Trevenant can do this. So let's go for an Earthquake first and foremost. They withdraw the Swalot. What are they going to go into? Donphan? Or Diancie? Donphan comes in. That's fine. Like so. It is burned, so we don't have to worry about Knockoff doing too much damage. We go for an Earthquake. It's not going to do enough damage to KO. But it does nearly do the trick, which is great. And there's the burn as well once again. So now... I would go for a Sucker Punch, but there's a good chance to go for an Ice Shard predicting a Sucker Punch. So let's go for a Horn Leech. They go for the Ice Shard as predicted, so the Sucker Punch would have failed if I went for that there. And we go for a Horn Leech. It's going to do no damage, but it will get us some health back. I say no damage just because they had no health left. But it's going to recover a little bit of health for us. And as long as they're not Rocky Helmet, which I don't think they are. No, they're not because they went down without any Rocky Helmet chip. We just get some Life Orb chip. That's fine. Swalot comes in. Interesting. We can't Encore them anymore, so they are going to be able to set up here. So let's go for an Earthquake, see how much damage we do. We outspeed them because it's a Swalot. They're not very fast. And we nearly get the KO on them, which is fantastic. So I'm guessing they didn't realize that, but they went for a knockoff anyway, which ain't going to do the trick because we've got an Aurora Veil up. We do lose our Life Orb, though, which is unfortunate. And I'm really hoping we can finish this game. Because we've got 2 minutes left, less than 2 minutes left. We go for an EQ here every single time. Earthquake comes through. That's going to take out the Swalot. And then they go into Diancie. We go for a Horn Leech, and that should take care of the Diancie. Hopefully, it'll two-shot it, at least. Hopefully. Right, Diancie comes in. We've got 59 seconds. Let's try and finish this game. Let's go for a Horn Leech straight away. We know what we're going to do here. Horn Leech comes through. We're going to get some nice health back, which means we are definitely going to be able to take the hit from this Diancie, whatever he wants to do. Trevenant coming through like an absolute champ. They go for a Power Gem. That's fine. Power Gem comes through. And Trevenant's kind of came through for us at the late game here, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So the Aurora Veil wears off, but we still outspeed. We still get to go for a Horn Leech here and finish the game off with 25 seconds remaining. That is going to be the game. So GG Cody, that was a really fun one. I did enjoy that. It was nice, down to the wire. We both made some questionable plays here and there, but that is the game we play, right? So can't complain about that. GG Cody. Nice.